Hi, fellow trumpeters. This is number 19 in Nathan Ost's miniature Etudes, and I'm finishing these up. So we got 19, 20, 21. I decided to go ahead and finish them, and I hope that you find them as useful as I do. Any short little passages like this can be turned into a valuable resource for developing basic trumpet skills if you know how to practice them. So I'm going to play through this one and then see if I can figure out how to practice it. Here we go. Let's check the tempo. It says 160. Okay. Something I find very interesting about music, performing music, is that I kind of get involved with the music. So I'm hearing this and I'm feeling the energy in the music, and I want to put that across to you. But there's a problem. The problem is I start to react, my body starts to react to the energy that I'm feeling. So I end up trying physically harder. If I were conducting, it was like, so you're doing something like very kind of rigid and strong and aggressive, right? And that's the way it should sound. But if you're doing that with your body as you're playing the trumpet, you're probably going to have a pretty rough result. And that I think I chipped a note. I chipped the B flat in bar 16, and it's because I was trying too hard. So I'm going to take the passage before that. I'm going to start at bar 9 and play through bar 15. And then I'm going to do something I do often. I'm going to sustain the B flat when I get there. That's the high point in terms of pitch of the phrase, and also in terms of volume. Now, part of that is to see, where am I? Am I balanced? Am I secure? Does it feel strong and controlled? Or does it feel like I'm kind of hanging on by my fingernails? That's in a matter of degree. I mean, I've still got the note, and I've worked with quite a few players that say, oh, this is no problem, I've got this. But they're actually about 20% in the risk zone. And they don't think about it because their goal is get the note, keep the note, play it at this volume, play it in tune, whatever the goal. They're trying to impose that. What I'm trying to do is find out, am I singing the note? And if I'm not singing it, I'm not really playing it correctly. I hope you understand what I mean. I was pushing that note a little bit. So even though I got it and it was secure, I'm pushing it a little bit. Now, if I know that singing that note, the quality of singing in terms of the ease physically of doing it, and the freedom of the resonance, of vibration, and the projection in the sound is worth it, I'm going to work hard in order to find out how to stay there all the time. And that's why I find these little etudes quite valuable. Now, we have an obvious issue that many people are going to be dealing with, and that's the double tongue. So you have double tongue over and over again. Fortunately, it's not continuous double tongue. It's only 4 notes in a row, tika-tika-ta, right? I'm going to point out something that I hear and run into in my own playing quite a bit. There's a tendency to do this. I'm doing this so you can see what's happening. When I play it on the trumpet, okay, I can do that, and this is what I'm doing. So I'm tight with my tongue, my lips, and my throat. And I'm just pushing the air a little bit harder in order to get that aggressive quality. But what I want is something very, very different than that. I still want to sing. So I have fluid, easy, sustained, continuous sound that's connected, whether I'm going up or down, whether there's space in between the notes, as in staccato, separated, or rests in between the notes, as in silence. I still have that feeling of fluidity. So as you've seen me do, if you followed my little instructional videos, is I often use sustaining as a kind of a reference point. But for many people, as soon as they start tonguing again, it's so I have a little trick that I use, and you can do it many different ways. You have to be able to get feedback about what the air is doing. So I just take my finger, put it a couple inches from my lips, and blow. So I'm trying to focus a stream of air so that it goes to a spot in the middle of the pad of my finger. So I'm being very precise. It's not around the finger. It's a stream of air that goes to that spot in the middle. And I can feel the air pressure on my finger when I'm doing that. Now when I do that, you'll notice the air doesn't make any sound when I'm just blowing a regular air stream. Now I can hear what the air is doing. So now there's no air hitting my finger because I'm blocking it with my throat and my tongue. Ta, ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta. So check yourself out and see to what degree you're doing that. My guess is for almost all players, you're going to be doing that to some degree. It might not be totally choked like I just demonstrated, but it's probably to some degree. You're trying to get so there's no resistance to the flow, just the light tapping of the tongue. Now, it's different when you have a piece of metal on your face and your lips are together. It doesn't feel natural. So that's why you have to go from now when I actually play it on the trumpet, it's like this. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, although I do have a voice mic right here. So the point is the air is completely free. There's nothing obstructing the airflow. It's not tick, tick, it's not tick, 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 it's not that. It's not it's when you get there, you'll know it because it feels so much easier to play. Then you'll be in trouble because probably if you're like most trumpet players, you're used to pushing the air too hard all the time and then holding it back with your throat, your lips, and your tongue. So this takes a lot of relearning. That's why I do the slurring stuff. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you're dealing with here. And as is typical, I'll mention one more thing, as is typical with these little etudes, you're playing along, kind of minding your own business, and then suddenly at the fourth line, it goes up into the upper register. And then you're playing along and you're doing fine. And then right at the very end of the piece, it goes into the upper register. So that transition presents a lot of challenges for many players. And I think that it's something that I know I have to practice. I'm just going to give you one very simple word of advice. If you're close, like I was just talking about, you're going to have trouble playing the end of the piece. So I'm going to play it as a slur, as I often do, and I'm trying to stay with the singing style all the way through. Let me take it at the end of the, I'm going to take it at the end of the second to last line, which is bar 23. Once more, slower. Now, I probably should have done that quite a bit before I actually played the piece at the beginning of this video. Then maybe I would have played the right notes. And and played it a little bit more accurately, and certainly I would have played it more comfortably. Comfort's not the right word. I would have played it with more confidence, physical confidence. So I'm going to try it once more and turn that slur, that gesture, that nice wave of air, and just lightly tongue on it. Now I know that's what everybody wants to hear, and I just did that on an impulse. I don't have very good impulse control. It wasn't very beautiful, but it was a G. So that's the starting point. And I hope you can take that to heart and put some of these things into practice to see results. When we're getting better, we're feeling better about ourselves, and we're building something. Hopefully we're building something. So go do that work right now if you have the time, and I'll see you later on down the road. Have a great day. Bye-bye.